Kamali, taking you through some of the things people are talking about and some of the stuff they're sharing around the world on Newsfeed today. Political ads banned from Twitter, but will it make any difference to how the platform works? The Springboks excite a nation, and that nation excitement is shown through social media. Are you thinking about how your Halloween costume will be eco-friendly? Don't worry, we are. And a look at some of the best weather photography 2019 has to offer. It's top of our newsfeed, Twitter. It's banning political ads, which sets it in stark relief to Facebook. That platform makes a bunch of money by allowing politicians to post ads, and they recently said that even allow politicians to lie in those ads. So will Twitter's ban make any difference? Here's Lila.
Twitter is banning all political advertising. CEO Jack Dorsey says he believes the reach of political messages should be earned, not bought. The ban applies to ads from political candidates, election campaigns, and on policy issues such as abortion and immigration. The policy comes into effect in a few weeks, before the UK's election in December. This is a departure from the norms of social media platforms. Facebook and YouTube's policies defend the use of political ads. But those platforms have come under scrutiny after a series of scandals. Companies had targeted political ads to their users directly, using their private data. And Facebook's recent decision to allow politicians to lie in ads has caused further anger, including in the US Congress.
So you won't take down lies, or you will take down lies? I think it's just a pretty simple yes or no.
Congresswoman,
I'm not talking about spin. I'm talking about actual
yes, in most cases, in a democracy,
okay.
I believe that people should be able to see for themselves what politicians that they may or may not vote for
so
are
you
saying.
Won't take
judge
them
their
down.
Character for them.
Last year, Facebook released details on thousands of ads used in the Brexit Leave campaign to a committee of lawmakers investigating fake news. The campaign spent almost $3.5 million targeting voters with what was sometimes false or misleading ads. It's a similar story in the US. During the 2016 election, Donald Trump's presidential campaign relied heavily on targeted ads which often contain lies. Spending on digital political ads is only expected to skyrocket as the UK heads into elections in 6 weeks and the US in a year. So, will Twitter's ban have any impact? Trump, who's known for his Twitter outbursts, has not run a single ad on the platform, but he has spent $250,000 on Facebook ads in just the past week. Twitter's political ad revenues amounted to less than $3 million in the 2018 midterm elections in the US. Facebook, though, brought in more than 100 times that amount at $353 million. This move by Jack seeks to distinguish his platform from Mark Zuckerberg's, but it certainly won't remove politics from Twitter.
Okay, let's take a look at some of the other things that caught our eye on social media. Now, about 1,000 restaurants in New York will no longer be serving the delicacy foie gras. The delicious to taste but too cruel to make pate has been served in fancy restaurants for centuries. New York City Council has passed a bill banning it from being sold or served beginning in 2022. Now, the delicacy is made by force-feeding a duck or a goose to enlarge its liver. That liver is then chopped out and served to people on toast. It's been banned in many countries too because of its cruelty, but some gourmands still want it to be available. It is very popular in France, where it's a protected food of cultural heritage. These amazing pictures have been taken from the International Space Station and some orbiting satellites. They show the California wildfires, which are burning out of control across the state. And here's a crazy statistic about the fires. They spread to an area the size of 32 football pitches every minute. Every minute. Now, they're being blown by very strong winds, and emergency services are struggling to cope. More than 250,000 people have been evacuated. There's some unverified recording from an undisclosed time that's been resurfaced on social media, supposedly of the leader of the Labour Party in the UK refusing to specifically condemn the bombing of the Irish Republican Army, but saying he condemns all bombing. It's being pushed on social media by people who are against Jeremy Corbyn becoming the next Prime Minister of the UK in the upcoming election.
IRA did.
I condemn all bombing. It's not a good idea. It's terrible what happened.
It's not the question. The question is, do you condemn what the IRA did?
Look, I condemn what was done by the British Army as well as by other sides as well.
Are you refusing to condemn what the IRA did? Jeremy?
I think we're going to have to do this later, you know.
Okay, well, let me just, this last question while it's quiet there. Are you refusing to condemn what the IRA did?
And because he can and because this is the world we live in now, the President of the United States tweeted this, a picture of the dog which was apparently injured in a mission to kill the leader of Daesh getting a medal. It's a Photoshop of this picture of a man called James McLaughlin getting an actual medal, the Medal of Honor, for fighting in Vietnam. Now, reporting says that McLaughlin was amused by the tweet and not offended. Some on social suggested he should be barking mad. Now it is the Rugby World Cup final at the weekend, and England will play South Africa in Yokohama, Japan, in front of 70,000. Now millions more will be watching from around the world, and for the Springbok fans, this is going to be a big one, and they've been making their excitement known through social media. Here's Lance.
See ya. From one leader to another, President Cyril Ramaphosa called up Springbok captain Siya Kolisi to congratulate him for leading the team into the World Cup final.
I am so proud of you. Yourself personally, I'm very proud of the team as well. You guys have done extremely well.
From Limpopo to Cape Town, South Africans have rejoiced. It's the first time in 12 years the Springboks have made it this far in rugby's biggest tournaments. After a tense victory over Wales in the semi-final, Kolisi and his team thanked the fans back home.
South Africa, we just want to say thank you so much for your support. It really means a lot to us. We gave our best today for you, and please, one more week to go, 6 more days. Just keep on supporting us, and yeah, send the messages. We appreciate it.
In Zwide, Kolisi's hometown, Springbok fans danced the night away. Their local lad has led the nation into a World Cup final. Proud is an understatement.
Where was I when we last time won the World Cup? I was actually watching it in the tavern because I didn't have TV at home.
For those who couldn't make it to Japan, the Guijo squad, South Africa's loudest supporters group, were on hand to provide the atmosphere. Not many fans go to work when the Springboks play, and for those who do, hardly anything gets done. After the Springboks advanced to the final, most South Africans felt like this guy. Whatever happens in Saturday's match, the boys in green have made South Africa smile. But if the Boks beat England, expect a whole lot more of this.
Well, good luck, the Boks. Let's go around the world now for some other stories you need to know this Thursday. Well, scientists now say the way we have been judging which areas of the globe are at risk of sea level rise was wrong. The data used to predict which places would be inundated by rising seas was, according to new research, based on an overestimate of how high the land in these areas was. It's actually far worse than we thought. Even with a slight rise, 247 million people in China, Bangladesh, Indonesia, India and Thailand will be at risk of annual flooding by 2050. That's almost 200 million more than previous models predicted. The new findings were published in Nature Communications. And sticking with new research which changes what we thought we knew, the Journal of Sciences has published data which shows we have been underestimating how much carbon is given off by intact forests. That's forests which have not been impacted by humans. Now, when these forests are lost, they give off a lot of carbon. The scientists say that when properly assessed, the amount of carbon these forests released is 626% more than previously thought. In South Africa, more measures are being put into place to help people deal with the worst drought the country has faced in decades. Livestock has been dying or is being sold off so farmers can survive. Dam levels across the country have dropped by up to 60%, and areas in the Northern Cape have not seen rain in 6 years. Extreme water restrictions are in place, and thousands in the Eastern Cape have been without water, with taps running dry. The Brazilian president attacked his critics in a live stream after a news organization linked him to the killing of a politician in Rio. Marielle Franco was shot 9 times back in March 2018. It was found that the bullets used were police issue. This photo of President Jair Bolsonaro with one of the men accused of the murder has been circulating on social media for months. Bolsonaro claims he doesn't know him. Bolsonaro also lived in the same complex as the other accused murderer. The new accusations about Bolsonaro's links to the killers were published by Globo. Bolsonaro, in the live stream, threatened to take Globo's broadcasting license away. India has officially divided the part of Kashmir it controls into 2 territories, Jammu and Kashmir and Ladakh. They are now union territories and will be controlled directly from Delhi. Pakistan continues to administer its own part of the disputed region. Both India and Pakistan claim the entire region. Well, it is the 31st of October and loads of people will be dressing up and going to parties to mark All Hallows Eve. And if you're planning on joining them, did you ever consider just how much of a carbon footprint your costume may have? No? Well, Ezra has.
Halloween can be scary. But for some people, the spookiest part of it all is all the plastic being used. A report by the environmental charity Hubbub and the children's charity Fairyland Trust polled 19 leading retailers, including Amazon, eBay and Zara. They found Halloween costumes generate more than 2,000 tonnes of plastic waste in the UK alone. That's equivalent to 83 million Coke bottles. The survey also examined more than 300 costume pieces and found 83% were made of non-biodegradable oil-based plastics. And polyester was used in the great majority of the clothes. Polyester is a plastic polymer that accounts for 69% of all materials used in Halloween costumes, while cotton makes up only 10%. But the UK numbers don't compare to the US, where 175 million people celebrated the holiday last year, compared to 30 million people in the UK. So can you imagine all that plastic waste? Producing all these costumes is a climate nightmare. And without a precise idea of how much your Halloween outfit negatively impacts the Earth's ecology, how you choose to mark All Hallows Eve could be frightening in more ways than you expect.
And next, we can reveal the winner of the Weather Photographer of the Year, and it is a good excuse to show some great pictures. Now, these are some of these shortlisted images. This one of a ship stranded in a storm is haunting and brilliant. We enjoyed this shot of a lightning strike in Australia. This one of a geisha caught in a storm in Japan too. We've all been there. And angry big waves really show the power of the sea. This one, though, was the winner. It's called Above My Expectations and was taken by Gareth Morn-Jones in North Wales. And as the last thing today, we have an animal doing stuff, and this one has gone very, very viral. It's been watched by more than 6.5 million people on Twitter. And it's from the improperly named Easy Fire in California, one of the many that is burning out of control. The video shows a horse going back towards the fire, coming across another horse and a calf, and then leading them to safety. And it's evidence, if evidence were needed, that not all heroes wear capes. Well, that will do from the Newsfeed team. Reach out to me with your questions, comments, complaints, and suggestions. You'll find me at Kamali Melbourne. You'll find us 24/7 on YouTube. You can subscribe to our channel, and why not follow me on Twitter? Follow, subscribe, and add. See you again tomorrow.